Hey everybody, my name is Alex with Hake Hardware, and in this video we are going to deploy NATS in Windows 11 using Ubuntu WSL and Docker. So NATS is required if you want to run a cluster, but it's super easy to set up, especially now that we have Docker running. So the first thing we're going to need to do is create a NATS config file. So let's open up our WSL instance by right-clicking, going to Terminal, and then just type WSL to get inside. I'm going to do CD to get to my home directory, and we're going to make a NATS folder. So if I do ls, we see we have a NATS folder, and then we're going to create a NATS config. So we're going to do nano NATS and then nats.config. And NATS or nano is just a text editor for our terminal here, so we can hit enter, and we're now in that text editor. You're just gonna paste in that max payload equals 2 megabytes and then press Control X and then Y and then enter to save the file. And we now have our NATS config set up, and we can close out of our, actually, it's a good idea to do PW or CD NATS and then PWD to print working directory. We're going to need to specify this path in our Docker container. So it's a good idea to just copy that, then open up your browser, go to localhost 9443 or wherever you have Portainer hosted, go into your local instance or whatever environment is where you want to have NATS deployed, go into stacks, and you can see, actually I can delete this. We don't need a farmer anymore because we are doing a cluster. We're going to do add stack, and then we're going to do autonomous NATS. And now we're going to need to go into, oops, sorry, sometimes when I go to the corner there, it wants to bring up that little screen. We're going to need to download the template for NATS, and that will be linked in the wiki, which will be linked in the description of this video. We're just going to copy and then go back and paste it in. And the first thing we need to do is just update this NATS URL. So if you remember, we printed out this directory here, or we printed out the path to that directory. We're going to the left side, so there's a colon here, and what we're doing is basically mounting a folder into our Docker container. So we're going to just paste it so that we have our path and then slash nats config. And we're going to be mounting it just directly to the nats config file in the Docker container. And we can see that we are referencing that slash nats config over here. And that's it for NATS. So if you don't have your autonomous network already running, which you should if you deployed your node, then make sure you go back to the node article and get an autonomous network running, because that's where we're actually going to deploy our NATS. And we'll click deploy stack. And assuming we don't get any errors and the logs look good, server is ready. So we are now ready for client connections, and we can deploy our cluster components. So that'll be it for this one. Hopefully it was helpful. If it was, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.